Benjamin Franklin said, "Nothing is certain in life except death and taxes." But you may not realize that he said that in 1989 because he had had his brain preserved in a silver brain cup forged by Paul Revere and remained alive until 1993 when Jerry Lewis, who had purchased the brain, left the brain cup on the top of his navigator and the brain cup fell off. And that was the end of Benjamin Franklin, finally. Facts are boring. People will believe in a compelling story more than they'll believe in a dull fact. And this can be used, obviously, for good or for ill. I try to hit it straight down the middle, for Gil. You have to play on what Stephen Colbert coined as truthiness. That feeling of, I want to believe that it is true, and it is just crazy enough to sound true. I had read books of trivia all my life and loved them. And I thought, what new can I bring to the genre of sort of junky lay reference books that you find in a bathroom or left behind in a summer house? And I said, why don't I do a book of trivia where all the trivia is fictional? So, for example, you would have a list of the 9 US presidents who had hooks for hands. No one knew that FDR had a hook for a hand because they only photographed him from the wrist up, and his hook was shaped like a wheelchair. With complete world knowledge, I wanted to do 3 books, but I wanted them all to form one massive exercise in derangement. I really wanted to break 1,000 pages, because the exercise of writing fake knowledge would not be complete unless it seemed hefty and authoritative. In my first book, I was fascinated with hobos, men who, during the Great Depression, left their homes to seek work by riding the rails and created their own subculture. And I thought it would be funny to list some number of hobo nicknames in the book, and I thought it would be funny if that number were 700. You just would have to keep turning and saying, he's still doing it, he's still doing it, what's wrong with him? It ended up taking probably 2 weeks of full-time work just coming up with absurd hobo nicknames. And for like the first 100 or so, that was great. But when you get into hobo nickname 375, you think, oh my gosh, this is utterly an insane and stupid thing to be doing. Consequently, the hobo nicknames were not just the most popular part of the first book, but people on the internet started doing cartoons of hobos to match the nicknames. It just reminded me that if I had said, I'm gonna either scrap this, how much I would have lost, you know. I think that it's true about any long-term creative endeavor. Like, you will find yourself at hobo nickname 375, and you have to do 700, and you just have to do it no matter what. I think there's something very profound about creating a thing that has utter integrity unto itself, no matter how stupid and mad it may seem. It's the idea that cathedrals were built with sculptures on the very top pinnacles that no human would see because you were making it for the angels. That kind of meticulousness is equally characteristic of genius as it is of madness. Good evening. My name is John Hodgman, and you are watching Booked. Could you hear that I left out the E in booked? Booked. 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 I'm John Hodgman, and you're watching Booked. No E in it. Just like there's no E in Hodgman, by the way. Learn it, finally, internet. Hodgman. And Booked.